we're taking a look at the SF3000, a 4.5-inch screen handheld retro gaming device. And I gotta say, I mostly am okay with this one, but not too crazy about it. And I'll go over what I think and what I do and don't like. First off, what I do like is that the screen is large. At 4.5 inches, it is pretty big. However, there's no way to change the aspect ratio here, so it's going to always be filling up the 4.5-inch screen, even if it's originally a 5x4 or a 4x3 image. And while it does have dual analog sticks, which I really welcome on pretty much any handheld emulator these days, they're really not that good for the most part. More on this one later. Lastly, the orientation of the buttons here, it's just a little too much to the side here. It becomes a little cramped with your hands when you're playing for a long time, having the B button be so far and the left arrow be so far over that it kind of gets a little cramped. Also, the L2 and R2 buttons are these really difficult to press buttons on the back here. Like using your fingers on the back, you're going to be moving the system, almost flexing it every time that you're trying to press those buttons. I'm not too crazy about that either. It is a pretty simple emulator system though. Pressing start and select just gives you these options here: resume, quit, load, save, which I haven't had any problems with any of the games that I have saved for what it's worth, so it does seem to function in that capacity. And it does a decent job when it comes to early 3D and games like that. This is where the sticks actually shine the best as well too, in a game that would require them. However, they don't have a great dead zone to them, and like I'm turning it about a quarter here and it's not even moving, as you can see, so that's kind of frustrating, and things like that can happen. However, in some games where it would be emulating like a joystick, I found that the actual analog stick here works great, better than the D-pad that would be oversensitive, so I can aim a little bit better in a game like this. Primitive, but it works. It only has one speaker on it though, and it does get pretty loud. However, where it's positioned here on the back here can be covered up by your fingers while you're holding it, but this is it at its max volume. But that's me accidentally putting my hand over it. Not bad, not great. There is 2 kickstands on the back so you can stand the device up, and interestingly enough too, it does work as a battery bank. You can actually charge another device with this device. So if anything, it's a battery bank, and that's with a 3000 milliamp hour battery as well. So it's not a massive battery, but it's bigger than some of the other retro handhelds. All that said and done though, for $40, I kind of found myself enjoying this, even though there were some things I didn't like as far as the controllers here. I kind of got used to it over time. It is cramped, but it's not the best, not the worst. The L2 and R2, if they're really important to you for a game, then don't get this, because the L2 R2 is really bad. I don't like that at all. And yeah, for the most part, it's just a cheap handheld emulator. I think we're going to see a lot more of these coming out in the future as 3D games get a little bit easier to emulate. If you want something that's a little bit better as far as performance and comfort, RG35XXH, except for their screens are a little wacky, but my go-to is the Trim UI Smart Pro. It makes sense that you'd be spending a little bit more to get something that performs better. So yeah, if you only got $40, I guess you could do worse. Let me know what you think, and cheers.